The Hunter Biden scandal is exploding, but I want to explain to you why. Telling you it's exploding is irrelevant. Hey, it's exploding. Hey, exploding. Bombshell. Why? Well, what do I mean by exploding? First, I owe you a description. Well, it has exploded now into the mainstream media. We knew about the Hunter Biden scandal a year and a half ago. The dimwits on the other side had no idea. So here's CBS News yesterday. They have a pretty good reporter, Catherine Herridge. She used to be at Fox. She was on yesterday, and she was on CBS News, which broadcast this. It actually is a very long segment. I had to cut it. Joe cut it like that to a minute. But here's CBS News, of all people, now finally, belatedly forced to acknowledge it. Hey, this Hunter Biden story, this don't look too good. I'll explain why in a minute. Check this out.
Multiple sources tell CBS News that the federal investigation into Hunter Biden's business practices is broader than previously known. The probe is exploring whether the younger Biden and his associates violated tax, money laundering, and foreign lobbying laws. Business records reviewed by CBS News and documents released by Republicans in Congress indicate multiple financial transactions involving Hunter Biden, his firm, and a Chinese energy company called CEFC. Republicans allege that the company is an arm of the Chinese government. In 2017, the year after Joe Biden left the vice presidency, a $1 million retainer was signed with the Chinese energy company for Hunter Biden's services as a lawyer. His client, a CEFC official, Patrick Ho, was later convicted of international bribery and money laundering charges for unrelated work in Africa. This week on the Senate floor, Republican Chuck Grassley presented financial records that he said showed six-figure payments from the Chinese energy company to Hunter Biden's firm.
So just to be clear, to sum that up, by multiple media reports, CEFC, a Chinese Communist Party linked firm, has paid Hunter Biden six-figure sums of money. That's kind of like the Reader's Digest version of it, right? That sounds like kind of a scandal. Chinese Communist Party connected firm paying the son of the former vice president, now president, a boatload of money. Gosh, that sounds like a big deal. So why is CBS News and the Washington Post, as you can see here, this broke yesterday, March 30th, 2022. Washington Post, inside Hunter Biden's multi-million-dollar deals with a Chinese energy company. You're talking about the same company, CEFC. Why are they doing this now? Well, before you get your hopes up, because as I said before, forgive me here, I don't mean to get off track, but you know, if you're a regular listener to the show, nothing bothers me more than when I see on blogs and elsewhere, I read them because I enjoy your feedback, good and bad, when people say, oh, Dan Bongino told us the walls are caving in. No, I'm not telling you that at all. We have to be crystal clear on this. So why is this happening? Because I'm hearing a lot of this in the media. Oh, they're reporting on it, even from left-wing media, because Hunter Biden could get indicted. He could. That's a distinct possibility. But I want to be clear, folks, there's also a very distinct possibility he won't be indicted at all, and that this is all an act and a show. And I need you to keep that in your head. I hate to give you 50-50s because that's a waste of your time, but I'm just telling you to be prepared. There are some people out there who are certain Hunter Biden's going to be indicted. I don't have that kind of faith. I'm saying it's a 50-50 shot. So, Dan, why is the media, the Washington Post, CBS, and the New York Times now covering the Hunter Biden story? Think it through. It'll all make sense. Let's say the DOJ's investigation into Hunter Biden with Catherine Herridge has good sources. I believe that part is 100% accurate, that they are investigating this. Say it doesn't result in an indictment. What does the Washington Post, New York Times, and CBS get to say? You see, Joe, we reported on this thing, and it was a nothing burger, just like we told you. Hunter had a drug problem, did some dumb stuff, no connection to the vice president, now president. We told you we did our jobs. Retconning and sweeping under the rug the fact that they ignored the story before the election to purposely interfere in the 2020 election. That's if he's not indicted. Again, I rate the chances no better than 50-50. Let's say Hunter Biden then is indicted. Then they can move on to narrative two. You see, we did our reporting on this, and our reporting indicates there's a loose connection at best to President Joe Biden, Hunter's got real trouble and we can start to massage this thing now. Either way, they think they win. Both of those scenarios, however, disregard the fact that they knew this story was real right before the election, and they quietly, tacitly conspired with big tech, fact checkers, and others to make this thing go away. I'm going to play a clip at the end of the show today, a hot clip from Grabien about all the media efforts to conspire in the biggest political scandal of our time to hide this enormous scandal, the vice president, now president's family, being bought off by the Chinese Communist Party. Do you see how this works either way? Don't think for a second this has anything to do with journalistic integrity or a guarantee that Hunter Biden's going to jail. They're preparing for either scenario. Again, not indicted. Look, we covered it. Nothing burger, just like we said. He gets indicted. Hunter, crack problem and all. Very loose connections to the president. Either way, they win. Folks, it's now fairly obvious that this case was substantive from the start, has been ignored. The National Pulse hits it again. Just an amazing, amazing series of work by the great Natalie Winters and Raheem Kassam's site over there. It's one of the few sites doing actual journalism anymore. Highly recommended, featured at BonginoReport.com today because they deserve it. Another exclusive. National Pulse. Email reveals Hunter Biden's Chinese Communist Party business partner sought a meeting with H and the family. Now, I need to read this to you. It's 3 very short paragraphs, but I want you to see every bit of this. Again, it's about CEFC. Memorize it, tattoo it on your brain. That is the Chinese Communist Party allegedly linked company, energy company, which was paying off Hunter Biden. Quote, Natalie Winters, National Pulse. You can read this in the newsletter today, Bongino.com/newsletter at Bongino Report. Quote, CEFC, which boasts extensive ties to the People's Liberation Army of China, is the same entity referenced in a New York Post expose highlighting how Hunter leveraged his father's name to ink deals with the Chinese government-linked entity. The article also outlines how Joe Biden, or the big guy, may have benefited financially from the deal. Whoa, really? Listen to this email thread. In the email thread they've obtained, Natalie Winters there, H appears to be a reference to Hunter Biden. Zhao, who wrote the email, writes, quote, the director would like to extend the following message to H before insisting Yi, the chairman of the company, would be more than happy to meet H and the family. Here is the exact wording of the email. Chairman Yi is more than happy to meet H and the family in New York City on the 5th or 6th of May. But the schedule is quite tight right now for the moment, and they cannot decide on the time of the meeting. This is unbelievable. I mean, I've never in my life, as a former federal agent police officer, seen a case with more extensive evidence, with a more detailed, detailed evidence trail and footprint leading to potential criminality, influence peddling, potential tax evasion, and FARA violations. And yet they're still screwing around. The FBI is claiming they don't know where the laptop is. Now, there's a way to nail this down right now. Tony Bobulinski, who was a business partner to this deal of Hunter Biden, Jim Biden, and apparently Joe Biden as well as also has already done extensive interviewing with Tucker Carlson and others about the Chinese Communist Party's alleged payoffs to Hunter Biden. He's already done them. Why is nobody talking to Tony Bobulinski right now? Why? Why aren't mainstream media outlets confirming the information with Bobulinski? I'm going to play for you. Remember CEFC, that's the company. Bobulinski's damning interview, 2 parts of it. I'll make it quick. Bobulinski, where he nails them to the wall on this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is from a year and a half ago. I'll play that for you in a second, showing you how the media see no evil, hear no evil, man. This is the biggest cover-up in modern American history.